Thank you for joining me as we dive deeper into the mystery of what really happened to Missy Avila. You may think you know the story. I thought I did too. What you're about to hear is a phone conversation between myself and Laura Doyle. In 1985, Laura Doyle and Karen Severson murdered my sister-in-law, 17-year-old Missy Avila. Laura, you got my message on Facebook in 2015. Can you tell us how you responded?
A lot of emotions. I remember exactly where I was. I was at work and I was on break and I didn't know how to use the phone still, and it just popped up. And I of course I knew your name and stuff, and I my heart started beating really fast because I I've always wanted to get in touch with you guys, but I knew it wasn't legal technically. And I didn't hesitate one bit, but I waited till lunchtime before I replied to you, but ended up replying right back to you. And yeah, so there was just so many emotions that I did have, because I was scared, that, I did a horrible, I did a horrible act, and I feel like you guys had every right to, come after me. So I didn't know, but then I want you guys to know what happened to Missy. So it was kind of a scary situation, but I wanted to do it. I just felt that I needed for you guys, to help you to, I don't know.
I remember receiving your response and I was blown away. I don't know if I had told you this, but this was, after Karen was on the news, after her books were released, all the Dr. Phil, everything was happening. And I had this dream, and Missy was like, Laura Doyle. My thought then was like wanting to reach out to you, but I was scared. And I believe I just woke up and I wrote you. I felt like she wanted me to hear from you finally what happened during all of it, from the moment when Missy went missing, and I saw the look on Laura's face, and it was devastation. I also saw Karen, while she lived and stayed in the house, with a smirk on her face every chance she had, and showing up at the Thanksgiving right after the murder. I always felt like your portrayal by, let's talk about the Daily News reporter. She covered the case, I believe during the trial. That was Karen Kingsbury who wrote the book Missy's Murder. And I know she interviewed a couple people. I think she ended up writing the book that launched her book career. And when I did attempt to read some of the book, when I got to her part about you, it did nothing about it. I had to stop reading because I knew that she did not depict your character quite appropriately. So, did she ever reach out to you when you were in prison?
I don't recall she did. I think I would have remembered because I didn't even know the book came out. I didn't even know a book was being written. And I didn't like the book. I didn't like the book for many different reasons. Well, not many different reasons. It just wasn't the story. It had nobody really, well, maybe some areas, but I agree with you. My part was not there. When we get to the movie, you'll see the difference in the movie and the book for me, because of course 2 different people did them, but she never came to interview me or even call on the phone, or so she got none of. I don't know where she got her information from. I guess just hearsay. I guess my age wasn't right.
And I never did fully read the whole book. I know that I'd seen pictures and different wrong names were on different people's pictures, and that's like a pet peeve I have, especially when they're discussing my family. So you mentioned the film Killer Among Friends. On the day A Killer Among Friends aired on December 8th, 1992 on CBS, Karen Severson, my mother-in-law Irene, and brother-in-law Chris Avila all appeared on Phil Donahue. Karen was on television, and this particular interview extremely powerful because we have Sergeant Patterson, who was at the scene of the crime. We have Karen, who's literally arguing the whole time. And then again, we have Dr. Phil, where she's saying something totally different. Back to that Phil Donahue, she was being interviewed at CIW. You were there at that time. Did they ask to talk to you? Did you know about the film? What happened there?
Yeah. There was I can guarantee you any talk show that she went on, they called me. I just don't remember who, but I declined them all. And my reasons for declining was, I if the victim's family wants to know what happened, I'll talk to them. I didn't want it wasn't everybody's business, and I wanted you guys to know everything. I mean,
Did you watch A Killer Among Friends?
yes.
Did you watch it in prison?
Yes. Yeah, we have TVs in there, little TVs. I watched it.
Who were you with when you watched A Killer Among Friends, and where were you?
Well, I was with my bunkie because it was 2 to a cell, but for the life of me, I don't remember who it was, because I in prison, it was almost like, I if you liked Laura, you're on her side. If you liked Karen, you're on her side. It didn't, like, plan out to be like that, but that's how I felt. So any talk show or any TV, anything that had to do with it, I always felt like there was a side somebody picked. So obviously the roommate that I had at the time was, I guess, on my side. I mean, I don't want people on my side or not on my side. This is just a horrible thing that I did, and I just want to say. And so I watched it, and it talked like I said, a lot of it I felt was accurate. More so if I'm comparing it to the book, let's say. It was way more accurate than the book. It had me, like, just coming in for the crime and then exiting back out, and what I mean by that is, once Missy and Karen well, first Karen went to continuation because she was pregnant, and then Missy went to the continuation because they were really good friends. So I hadn't really seen them, until, gosh, like, at least, like, almost 2 years. I haven't seen them other than waving by, Brownford Park or something. Um, so it was
Can you explain that more? What do you mean? Like, you hadn't seen Missy and Karen 2 years prior to.
right, the crime, because they went to continuation, so we didn't go to the same schools, and it wasn't like I hung out with them. So, I mean, I didn't really hang out with them, so I was just kind of just working and going to school.
Well, now that you're there, I mean, then how did you get involved? How did that happen?
Karen called me, and first I'm gonna say, and this is not, I don't wanna by any means sound like that I'm trying to make myself a victim or anything. I don't I'm not trying to say that, but, I hadn't seen them for a while, and I always wanted to be like, in junior high school, I wanted to always be a part of their group. Karen and Missy's among them, their friends and stuff like that. But I don't know. I guess I just didn't fit in some kind of way. No, so I wasn't really well liked into that group. So I never got. So she calls me up. It seemed like out of the blue, and I was excited. I was really excited. I'm thinking, she's inviting me out. She wants me to invite Missy out. I'm thinking, wow, so fun! I'm gonna be a part of this group. Well, you know, the excitement soon dies because that's not when she continued to persistently call me telling me, "Have you invited Missy Allen? Have you invited Missy Allen?" I'm like, "No, I work a full-time job, when I get around to it, I will." But at that time, my gut was already telling me something, and I don't know how I missed it.
It
Ended up inviting Missy out, and bringing her to Stoner's Park and then up to the canyon.
When did you call Missy to invite her?
It was probably about a week later. It was about a week before I even called her, and Karen was persistent, almost like daily calling me, telling me to invite her out. Just we're gonna get together, and then we're just gonna give her a little scare. I don't know who she's talking about. We, I guess. Just give her a little scare, and then we're just partying and stuff. And I even went and got the beer and stuff. I just thought that's what that was gonna be. And Chanel, like,
No, it didn't. When was the incident with you and Vic and Missy where you got mad at Missy and said you were gonna kill her?
yeah, and I've never used that phrase since then. Well, I mean, since in court, because it made it real. And when I said it, it was, I mean, I says, I don't know how everybody's gonna take this, but I mean, it was in joking. Like, because I was driving by going to work, "I'm gonna kill you," and I seen Missy and him on the side of the house. By then, we were already broke up, and Missy and him were together even before he and I were together. So, if anybody was to be mad, she should have been mad at me. But anyway, so I was driving by the Vic's house, and it looked like they were on the side, and I hollered out my window, "I'm gonna kill you, Missy," and like I said, it was all in jokingly. I never once had any thought or any indication that I would be in the middle of this, because that's not any feelings that I had when I said that.
Did Karen know you said that?
I'm not sure. Um, I don't even know if her and I at the time were hanging out. So yeah, because by that time I think she had her babies, and that's when I really didn't talk to her anymore. She was, being a mom and stuff. Uh, so no, I don't think so, unless you might have heard it in rumor or something, through the neighborhood. Well, then well, just the three of us would have known. I mean, it could be possible. I'll just say that, but I don't remember saying it to her.
Hmm. Well, my theory was always that she knew you said it and that's why she chose you.
And you never know, because she's almost like the lion weight type of person. It's just
Thanks for listening. I'm Siobhan Avila, and for the first time, Missy gets the last word.
Okay, this is the end of the tape. Bye bye. Thanks very much. Bye.